Hello everyone, Maria and Gina with Reflect and Reset with Maria and Gina. Gina, how's it going today?
Good morning. Good morning.
We are very excited to be here today. We've gotten a lot of response from our listeners in Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And I know some of the LinkedIn friends have asked questions already that we're not going to be able to address because we have so much to cover on this show, but definitely we'll address it in other shows.
Absolutely.
We just want to make sure you realize that we know. So we are going to focus today on trying to educate the community and not just educate you on healthcare. And we're going to focus on the insured population and the non-insured population. And we have a lot of information to give. Right, Gina?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let's start.
So the first thing that we really want to talk to you about is, the standards and what people should expect with their bills when they go to the doctors, right? And what Maria and I want to explain to you is that there is a national standard that's set. It's the Medicare rate, actually. It's set by the government. And what it does is it covers all rates for every service possible that you would get at the doctor's office.
Right.
And what people don't understand is that doctors, providers, as well as hospitals always increase their bills that they charge either to the patient or the insurance company by Medicare, by a certain percentage of Medicare. And usually it's anywhere from 300% to, in hospitals, it could be what?
800.
Yeah,
they
800%.
go up to 800%.
So what we want to do today is we want to make our listeners more, savvy when it comes to understanding, if you have insurance, understanding what your policy is. How to understand if you're being billed for something you're not responsible for, as well as people that don't have insurance, right?
Exactly. And what you were saying at the beginning is exactly what is affecting healthcare for the uninsured community. So people that don't have insurance and they go to a doctor's office or they go to the hospital, they end up paying 300 to 400% of Medicare in the medical practice, and then they go to the hospital and they end up paying 800 up to 800% of Medicare.
Right.
And we, as you recall, when I was in the emergency room not too long ago, I ended up paying $3,500 for a 45-minute visit. And I have insurance. Mm-hmm. Now, someone that did not have insurance for the same visit would have paid a lot more, right,
Absolutely.
Gina?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because my deductible, when they charge my deductible, basically the insurance company is saying this is what you can charge them, right? But if you don't have insurance, the bill could have been a lot more, correct?
Yeah, the bill could have been much, much more, because what happens is the insurance company, when you have insurance, they say, okay, I have a contract rate with you of, let's say, with the hospital, they have a $3,500 contract with them for those services. So that becomes your responsibility. But they don't bill the insurance company $3,500. They bill the insurance company like $8,000, right? And then they have a write-off. Right. So what happens is they write off the balance, and then they charge you for the deductible that your insurance says. But now think about it if you don't have insurance.
Wow.
They're going to bill you the same rate they bill the insurance companies and expect you to pay.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And we were talking this week about the fact that some practices or even hospitals, they will send you a bill, and if you don't understand what your responsibility is,
right.
And a lot of people would get an explanation of benefit, right? And
mm-hmm.
you could either get it in the mail, but unfortunately in the technology era now, you have to go into the website and look at what is your responsibility, because sometimes the responsibility that the doctor is saying is really
not yours.
And not yours.
Right. So what happens is the providers got so beat up by the insurance companies that they're trying to recoup as much as they can. And so what happens is that, for example, everybody who has insurance should sign up for an account with their insurance company so they can have access to all the bills that were charged to them, how much the insurance company is actually telling you is your responsibility. And I'm going to give you a story what happened. This is the reason why you have to be smart. And you have to question. Just because you get a bill doesn't mean you owe it. So my brother, years ago, had an emergency brain aneurysm, and he was rushed to Presbyterian, and where he had immediate surgery. When, he's great, but thank God, everything's fine. But I just so happened to be in his office the day that he was telling his secretary to pay a $36,000 bill to the doctor. And I said, wait a minute, give me that bill. There's no way you owe $36,000. You don't have a deductible. So I took the bill and I researched what had happened. What they did is they cut the bottom part of the bill off that said patient is not responsible, and they sent him the denial, and he assumed he had to pay it. I called the doctor's office and said, look guys, first of all, you just committed insurance fraud. You're just telling a patient he's responsible for something. You cut off pertinent information from a bill and sent it to the patient, hoping that they would pay it. I said, number two, if you didn't get paid because of authorization, you got to go back to the insurance company and tell them, this is not elective surgery.
It's an emergency.
This was an emergency.
Yeah.
I don't have time to get you authorization when this guy's going under the knife to save his life.
Yeah.
So with that, they got paid. He didn't pay the bill, of course. I wouldn't have allowed it. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody has to be really, really careful, and they have to go online, set up an account, and look at the EOBs. And we call them EOBs, explanation of benefits. What services were done, what the insurance company covers, and what's your responsibility.
The other thing, Gina, that we're finding in our practice is that we have so many patients that do not understand the policy that they got. So people are buying insurance policies and not really understanding what the deductible is, right, what the co-insurance is. And before I go on, I just want to make sure, because I know this is a hot topic and some of you might want to call in, please call us. We will take any questions, and the telephone number is 636-0110. So going back to what we were saying, we had this, remember the lady that she needed to have a procedure,
yeah,
and the procedure was going to be like $1,100, I think it was. And when we found out that her insurance deductible was $5,500,
right,
and I think she was paying close to $400 a month.
Right.
But the lady said, no, that's not true. That's not my deductible. Right. You guys are wrong. So we're in the business of educating the patients.
That's right.
And the challenge for us a lot of time is that they get upset with us, but we haven't even made the decision for their insurance.
Right.
So you got to really educate yourself on the policy. I know it's intimidating because that's, we talk about how intimidating is when you look at the policy and you have the language of deductible, co-insurance,
family deductible, individual deductible.
Exactly. So what you have to do is just make sure that you ask the question to whoever it is that's selling you the insurance. They should educate you. And that's one of the biggest challenges, would you say?
Absolutely. And you know what? The truth of the matter is you can call the insurance company. They'll explain it to you, then they'll look at it. And then you have to also understand that just because you have a deductible, you can still have preventative care.
Right.
That does not hit your deductible, so you wouldn't be responsible for that payment.
Yeah.
So, I don't want people to say, well, I need a physical, but I don't want to go to the doctor because my deductible is so high. No, you do not pay your deductible towards anything that's preventative.
Unfortunately, that is happening so much.
Yeah.
We were at a meeting yesterday with our staff, and a new staff member was saying how her deductible was $3,000, and whenever she felt sick, she wouldn't go to the doctor. She will try to medicate herself, do whatever she could, because she knew she was going to be hit with a $200 or $300 visit, because that's usually what happens. Unfortunately, when we talk about Medicare being sort of the organization that creates the foundation for health care, right? And if you go to the doctor and you're a Medicare patient, they're going to be paying you what would you say?
Oh no, they're going to be well, they would pay you about $100. Right. Average.
Exactly. So, but if I don't have insurance and I go to the same doctor, then I am going to be paying $300.
Right. Usually it's 3 times Medicare.
And everybody that we explain this to, they say, what do you mean? I mean, that doesn't sound legal. But it is the system, and it's not illegal. It is the system. We create fee schedules, and what you and we are very big into figuring out how to take care of the uninsured population,
Right.
and it all stems from this concept, right?
That's
Medicare overcharging. I mean, not Medicare. The providers overcharging the patients, and if everyone that doesn't have insurance pays Medicare rates, they're actually very reasonable. Now the doctors
accept Medicare. I mean, that's ironic.
I have to say, some doctors' offices or practices are not going to like what we're saying, because we are more mission based. So we are obviously focused on the net profit, because we have a business that we want to create a very successful business, because we want to help
as many people
as possible. But what we're saying is something that I know, many providers are not going to be happy with. But we need to educate you, and we're okay with not being like.
What everyone should have transparency, and that's really the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And what you also don't understand is that when you go to the doctors, and for example, and you get charged $300, it may be that other insurance companies are only paying them $125, $150 for the visit. But you're being charged $300 because you don't have insurance, so there's no barriers for them.
Listen, I'll give you another example. So when I went to the emergency room, I ended up having a CAT scan, and ironically, the bill was $1,200.
Wow!
That was just for the scan. Then I got another bill of $100 for actually $300 for a doctor to read it. So we negotiate with some imaging centers, and I was at a meeting yesterday negotiating with an imaging center. I'm not going to mention who they are, but so when I said to the guy, listen, charge us Medicare rates for our members, and they're going to pay you at the time of service, because that's the other thing. I mean, this only works if our patients are paying at the time of service, because we cannot bill the patients with the low rate.
Too much time and effort. No,
it doesn't make sense. So when, and we're going to talk a little bit about the membership, but when we have a member, and we have a membership program that Gina will explain to you guys, they go and get the same exact test for less than $300. It's $250, $240.
Yeah.
And I ended up paying myself, and I'm insured, but it was my deductible, and this is what the insurance said that I had to pay the hospital, and I ended up paying, $1,500 by the time it was done. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, and and think about it. What about the one of our members that went to the hospital by mistake to have a mammogram?
Yeah.
And she got a bill for what was it, $1,300?
It was $1,300.
$1,300, and we have negotiated rates with an imaging company for $100. So that's the difference. That's what we're talking about with what they're able to bill you versus what they should be billing you.
Yeah. And so let's talk about our membership, because I think, we're so passionate about helping the uninsured community, and to be able to come up with the concept that actually works for them and will work for us. And so let's talk about
it. And I want to say, before I even get into that, is that nobody's going to get it right the first time, right? We are working so hard to make things better for people, and but we're still learning. We're still creating.
We're babies. We're 2 years old.
Right. We're creating systems, and sometimes the systems don't work, and we have to change it. We have to tweak it. So we want everyone to understand that we're trying to help the masses, and we want you to also understand that as much of what I'm going to tell you is for real. They're like, how can this be possible? I don't get it. But the truth of the matter is we figured this out finally. And we had a membership before, right? And it didn't work because it still was too expensive. Yeah. People couldn't afford to get health care. So what we did was we figured out a 3-tier membership plan. And the membership plan goes from a basic to a plus to a premium. And with the lowest end, the basic, you get urgent care visits. You get as many...
But, we have a caller. Okay, Gina, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Let's put that on hold.
Hello there. Mitchell. Hi, Mitchell. Thanks for calling us.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Right.
Wow. Did you end up paying the bill? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is important. That is a big lesson there.
Yeah, that's right. You're not responsible for their mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
They should have told you that this anesthesiologist is not in your network, and you should have the choice to decide whether or not you're going to accept it. And yeah, I mean, there's so much with the the healthcare system right now is so broken. But it took your time, right? You needed to put so much energy into trying to get this bill paid or resolved.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, thank you so much.
Great.
We appreciate you calling us. Thank you.
You
Take
too.
care. Bye-bye. So, guys, Reflect and Reset with Maria and Gina. And again, you can call us at 636-0110. I'm sorry, 0110. Actually,
Yeah,
I said
you're
it
right.
right. So going back to Gina, going back to the medical membership.
Right. And I also want to make sure that
Oh, Gina, I'm so sorry. I want to make sure everybody knows where we are.
That's right. That's what I was just going to say. That's so funny because we're saying Maria and Gina, but we are a 4-Main Medical Center, and we're in White Plains, New York.
711 South Broadway
right.
in White Plains.
Yeah,
and
so-
our telephone number for those of you that might, after this show, that might be interested in learning more about the medical membership is 914-723-4900.
Exactly.
And people could go on our website too, because
Yeah,
we have a
yeah.
lot of information on the medical membership. And it is,
Yeah. So what I was saying.
what's our website?
Oh, it's www.4mainmedicalcenter.com, of course.
Yes.
Anyway, but what I want to do is, because I know that we're limited with time, is I really want to give you guys a little heads up about the membership. So the 3 levels, and the lowest level being urgent care. So when I'm selling urgent care and internal medicine with a mid-level provider.
Right.
So when I say urgent care, I'm saying you come in $29.95 a month and then you get, I don't care if you have laceration or if you have, you know, asthma issues, we take care of everything for you.
Right.
There's
includes
no
the x-rays.
everything. There's no extra fee.
Yeah.
The only thing we would charge you for, if necessary, was a vaccine, because they're way too expensive for us to include this in the plan.
Correct.
And if we have to do blood work and send it out. But we also negotiated, right?
We negotiated great deals, and there's so many providers that are actually willing to work with us, which
Right.
we found, you know, really heartwarming to us, because they're great providers
Right.
and they're willing to discount their, you know, their medical services.
Like our lab, like the labs,
The
right?
labs. Quest Diagnostic has been great with us, and some of this stuff is being, some of the lab work is being discounted up to 90%.
90%. So, you know, where you would normally get a lab bill for like $600 for a preventative visit, you're talking about $60.
Even the pharmacy, right? We have
Yeah.
the local pharmacy. We do everything we can for this, for the patients.
We do.
And now people could understand it, because talking about how Medicare rates, you know, how the
Yeah.
system works.
Right.
This is why everybody's willing to actually work with us, because we're just asking them,
Yeah.
listen, charge them Medicare rates.
You're getting it anyway.
Exactly.
You see Medicare patients.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? That you're not killing them and you're knocking them over the head, you know?
So the plus, you were explaining the plus about
the basic was what I explained, and then
Yeah.
the plus is for $59.95 a month, you get all that I had just mentioned, plus you get a MD for you could be your PCP. You also get mental health visits,
Yes.
and you get physical therapy visits. So, I mean, we have done everything we can to include
Yeah.
as much as possible. The only reason why we're stepping it up, of course, with price, is because we got to cover, you know, these costs.
but listen, Gina, $60,
$60, right.
you have to pay for a psychotherapist. It could be
$200.
from $200. It could be, you know, more than
Yeah.
that. So we are making it affordable, and people say, well, this is too good to be true.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're starting, and this is why Gina was talking about, you know, we don't have everything
We don't have all
together.
the
We don't
answers.
have all the answers, but one thing we know is that this is something, the more people out there that join our membership, they're going to help us even provide even more
Right.
things. So it's a volume business. We need to
Right.
be able to get enough members, and
Right.
we are on our path, you know.
Right, and then the final one is the premium membership, and it is $89.95 a month. But you're getting everything I just spoke about, plus dermatology, gynecology, podiatry, neurology, orthopedics. Am I missing something? Oh, again, physical therapy, occupation. And the other thing I want to tell you is that every one of our levels gets a care coordinator, because
Yes.
we know as people that are in the healthcare system how difficult it is to navigate yourself through the system when you need something. So we give you that support. Everyone has their own personal navigator, healthcare navigator.
So what we do is we take care of you. You come in, we will guide you. We will let you know where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
If you don't have the means to be able to pay for a surgery, I mean, we're working with
negotiate.
Montefiore actually, and they're doing amazing work
Yeah,
for us.
amazing.
They're doing surgeries, and we guide the patients through the whole process. And many times we are the ones, you know, the care coordinator is making their appointment. So, and our staff is everybody
Yeah.
in our staff is mission driven,
Yeah.
which makes it easier.
And we want to know if there's a bad experience that anyone has. We want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Call us. Call us
committed.
personally. You can call Maria. You can call myself. We are so committed to making this work that if there is something that we're missing or we're not doing 100% correct, let us know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to be blogged all over the place that we're so bad, because we're not. And I really just want people to understand that everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, we're
let
here
us know
to help.
what we did. Absolutely.
So I know we're getting close to the end of the show, and to summarize everything, please understand your policy. We know that high deductibles are a big issue.
Right.
I mean, pretty much policies now, they all have high deductibles. There is no policy that you could find that they're going to pay you 100% most of the times.
Not anymore.
After you meet your deductible, a great policy will be where they pay 90% and you pay 10%.
or even 80-20 at this point, because
and
they
the
don't give them.
premiums are so high.
You're
This
talking
is-
you're talking about $800-900 premium for an individual for something like that.
Listen, we pay $800,
And we have a deductible.
and we have a deductible. So we are here to help you. I hope you really have enjoyed this show. We've tried to cover as much as possible. Gina, what else? Did we miss anything?
No, I just want you guys to be smart. Just really, like Mitchell was saying, understand, and you can negotiate. You know, call and ask them. Say, this doesn't seem right. Call the insurance companies. The agents will talk to you.
Well, one thing that I wanted to address is the fact that the penalty that people would get from when Obamacare started
On your taxes,
on
right.
your taxes, when you don't have insurance, actually this is going to be lifted as of this year. And it's going to be a major impact because a lot of people are actually going to be without insurance.
Yeah, they're going to drop their insurance.
Yeah, they're going to drop the insurance, so there's an incentive in a way to not have insurance because the premiums are so high, but a lot of people were paying a nice fee, and that would incentivize them to keep insurance. And so, which is a shame, because what's happening is that people don't want to go to the doctor because of the high costs that we were talking about, you know, with 300% of Medicare. And but also we're finishing the show, and again, our medical membership is here for the uninsured community. I hope you enjoy our show. And
come visit us, and
next week we'll be here.
We'll be back next week.
You guys take care.
Have a great week.
Bye bye.